This is a Shields of Shame exclusive.
The police protection bill, and now both civil rights leaders and law enforcement have different opinions on the new law, which was signed less than 2 weeks ago.
And there's an undertone here that says that we don't care what your rights are.
We're a professional agency. We're full of dedicated men and women in every division of this agency. Investigative division, GCIC, crime lab, Emmy's office. You can go throughout the building. Dedicated people that are sworn to the task of serving the citizens of this state. We're public servants.
We don't care what your rights are.
It was an exciting day for the GBI at the Georgia Public Safety Training Center.
Okay, today's date is Friday, May the 14th, 2021. The time now is 3:11 p.m. This is Director Fred Mays in the GBI Office of Professional Standards. I'm speaking with Special Agent Quamere Rooks. He is an agent, special agent assigned to the GBI Region 7 office. Quamere, how long have you worked for GBI?
I've been with the GBI since September 15th of 2020.
Okay. And you're in the GBI Basic Agent School right now, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were already working there before you went to the GBI Basic School?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And evidently you have some previous law enforcement background. Where did you work before?
I was with the Department of Community Supervision. That's probation and parole, and I've been with them since 2016.
Okay. What office were you assigned out of?
I was with Walton County and Newton County, so the Alcovey Judicial Circuit.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. This incident happened on May the 12th.
Yes, sir.
A bunch of y'all went down to a Mexican restaurant and y'all went to another bar and stuff. I have your statement here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to look over it?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there anything you want to change, add, or delete to this statement?
I would like to add to that statement that she attempted to talk to me again after they told us we were going on administrative leave. Okay. We were leaving the classroom, and I'm glad they got cameras there. We were leaving the classroom. I left way before she did because I didn't have any questions. I just wanted to leave. She spared her walk up to come and talk to me. She stopped me below the steps. If you're going back towards the dorms, I know you're familiar with the campus, but if you're going back towards the barracks, passing the memorial, going back towards the barracks, we were heading down the steps, and she asked me, "Hey, can we talk?" And I said, "I don't think we're supposed to be talking, but what is it?" And she was like, "Well, I just want you to know I'm on your side. I told them that you didn't do anything and that, I just didn't remember." And I asked her the same question that I asked her when she tried to talk to me in the classroom. Why would you tell them that I did something to you if I didn't do anything? I said, why would you tell them that if you just didn't remember? Why wouldn't you tell them that you just didn't remember? And at the end of the day, the way I feel about that was my friend. We were friends.
Okay, that's what you want to add to the story. But we're going to start in the beginning, and I guess when we get to this point here, that would be the end thing that has happened. Yes, sir. What you just told me. And we're talking about Megan Hirsch, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's start at the beginning, and I'm going to, and if I hold my hand up, stop talking, because with these recordings, it's going to be transcribed.
Yes, sir.
I don't want us to talk over each other.
Yes, sir. Okay.
And but I might, when you're talking, I might have a question that I might need for you to answer or clarify.
Yes, sir.
But I'll start. Now you and her went through mandate school together too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So just go ahead and tell me what started this night on May the 12th.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll get to what you just said, and then I might have some follow-up questions.
Yes, sir. So basically on the day of May the 12th, I have to start from the day, because that is when I suggested that me, Megan Hirsch, Justin Jones, Jason Cole, and Jamie Kraft should go get some drinks. My house burned down. I think everybody here knows that it had burned down. We've been going through that. I've been going through some issues with my family as far as my aunt had medical issues while I've been in training. And me and my brother and my mom have been going through some things. So I've been extremely stressed while I've been at BAC. I usually don't go out with the class, and anybody in class will tell you, I probably have went out with the class when they went out for drinks maybe once, and they usually go all the time. But I usually don't go out. I have too much stuff going on, so I usually just stay in the room, and me and Justin Jones will like hang out. We'll play like NBA 2K or something on his Xbox. So this particular day, we're in class, and I said, hey, y'all want to just go to Mexican? I need a drink. It's been so much going on. I need a drink. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. We all need a drink to decompress from class, so we can do it. Megan Hirsch drops that in the group, so that way everybody knows, hey, you're invited out. We're all going to Mexican. We get out of class, and me, Megan, Jason, and Justin are walking together, and we're like, hey, we're going to go change. It shouldn't be anything but about 10 minutes, and then we'll head out and go get something to eat. We get dressed. Megan rides with me, Justin, Stephen Pendergrass, and Justin drives. And Justin chose to drive because he didn't drink. He wasn't going to drink. He knew that if we were drinking, we probably didn't need to be driving. So he was driving because he didn't drink. And then Jason, Eric White, and Brandon Crocker met us shortly thereafter at the Mexican restaurant. There were a couple of students that chose to go somewhere else. They went to Jonas, and that was part of the reason why we were going to Jonas after Mexican, but I won't skip around, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. So we get to the Mexican restaurant. We all order a drink. I think Steven gets a beer. I get a margarita. Meg gets a margarita. Jason gets Jack and Coke or something like that. Justin doesn't have anything but a water or a Sprite or something. And Eric has a beer. And then me and Jason orders me a shot, and then he orders me another shot, and then he orders Meg a drink. So we're sitting there, we're having a good time, we're talking, we get our food, we eat. We decided, hey, we're going to go meet up with the classmates that went to Jonas. So we all leave from there. Megan rides with Jason, and Justin is with me and Steven. Justin drives me and Steven. So we leave from there, and we go to Jonas. And when we get to Jonas, we see the classmates leaving, so they're obviously not staying. But we end up going, and we go in anyway, and we just have some more drinks. And I don't think we had too many. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jason brought me one more shot that I barely could get through because I was like, this is disgusting. And then I think Meg had another drink. I don't know if Jason bought it. I can't speak to him buying hers, but I know he bought me one. And we were there just kicking it, talking. Now, around the same time, I talked to Megan's boyfriend, and we were just chopping it up because me and him were becoming cool. Me and him were talking about hanging out, and his mom's birthday was that day. So I had told her, like, yo, I need to get his number so that way I can send his mom a gift. I think he's really nice. I think he's cool. And so we leave from there. After everybody's finished drinking, whatever case may be, she rides back with Jason. I ride back with Justin and Steven. We get back to the campus, and apparently, and now I don't remember this part, but apparently we were drinking in the parking lot. And I can't deny or say that that's true because I really don't remember that part. Somebody told me that. But we get back to the campus. I'm talking about going to see my wife. And so Lucas comes out and he's like, hey man, you don't need to be driving to go see your wife. So ultimately I don't go. But then Meg starts getting emotional out there. And so me and Justin and I don't know if Jason was still out there or not, but me and Justin were still outside. And I'm like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, what's happening? Like, are you okay? And I'm like, do you need to talk? We can go get in my car. We can talk. Justin's standing out there. I'm like, hey, if you don't, and we're friends. So I'm like, if you're not cool with it just being me talk to you, Justin can get in the car too and talk to you. I was like, Jason get in the car. We can all get in the car and talk. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with you. So she's like, yeah, I'll come get in the car with you. So she willingly comes and gets to the car. I don't bring her. I don't walk her over there. And the campus has cameras for everything. I don't walk her to my car. I don't do any of that. She goes and gets in the passenger side of my car. I go and I get in the driver's side after I tell everybody else I'm hollering at y'all and I'm about to go talk to Meg. So we get in the car and she starts crying about how her life's not going the way she wants it to, issues with her boyfriend. And so I'm like, nah, we need to call Hunter. So we called Hunter in the car. I think we called him twice, as a matter of fact. The first time we called him, before we called him the first time, I'm in the car calming her down because she's crying. She's crying, bawling out crying. And it might have been because she was probably drunk, but she's bawling out crying. And I'm like, hey, calm down. You're fine. Your life is fine. You're strong. We all believe in you here. You're going to make it through this training. We're all good. Don't worry about it. We all got something going on. We got to be courageous. We have to be literally just encouraging each other, literally. So we call Hunter, and I'm like, Hunter, man, you got to talk to her, man. She's distraught right now. She wants to talk to you. So they start talking, and then he gets the phone back to me. He's like, man, how much did y'all drink? And I'm like, man, we've been drinking, but at the end of the day, man, it's obvious that she loves you. It's obvious that she likes you. You know, she loves you. And he was just like laughing. We start laughing, both of us. We're all in the car now. We're just laughing it up because it's like, it just seems like a drunk moment. We get off the phone with him. We start talking some more. We call him back. I don't know what it was for, but it wasn't anything serious. We were literally just chopping it up with him. We get to talking. We're still talking. It starts to dim down outside, and we're in the car. And she starts telling me how Hunter and her don't really have sex like that. So we start talking about our sex lives. I'm telling her, you know, I'm like, me and my wife, we role play and we do this, and you know, those are things that keep us interested in each other. And she's like, well, I've tried this with him and that doesn't work, and he's just not as sexual as me. And so I'm like, I say something along the lines of, well, I like sex. And at this point, we just like look at each other and we like, we should do it. And so she agreed. I agree. She starts taking her pants off. She is fully aware. She takes her pants off. I proceed in the front seat to give her. I lean over the middle console. I lean over that and I start to give her. I'm like, we need to move from this spot because we're literally right beside all these cars. This is all Gypstick parking lot, and I'm glad it was because there's cameras out there. I moved my car over into another area in the parking lot because we were located close to the obstacle course. So I moved my car over into the other side of the parking lot. And I'm like, we should get in the back. She goes and gets in the back. I don't move her. I don't coerce her. I don't grab her hand and she goes and she gets in the back. I turn off the car. I follow her to the back. When we get back there, I proceed to start doing the again. She has not expressed to me at any time that she's uncomfortable, that she didn't want to do this. We agreed to do this. This is my friend we're talking about. We agreed to do this. Now, whether we were drunk, yes, we were drunk. And that is probably the reason why we ended up doing it. But everything was mutual. We agreed. She's my friend. I don't have a reason to hurt. I don't have a reason to hurt her or do anything wrong to her. We get into it and we're about to go a little further. And when by me saying go a little further, I know you want specifics. Go a little further as far as initiate actual sex, like actual penetration. We were about to, because at this point I was taking off my pants. We hear a knock on the window. It's Charlie. He opens the door, and mind you, he opens the door. The doors aren't locked. He opens the door and he sticks his head in and he says, "Hey man, y'all need to go. Y'all need to." Now I don't know if he saw Megan or not. In my opinion, I think he only saw me, and I don't think he knew who it was up under, because we were kind of. So at the point that I was taking off my pants, it was in the back seat. This is me, right? Mm-hmm. And this is her. Mm-hmm. So at the point I'm taking off my pants, this is how it looks. Okay. He opens the door and sticks his head in. "Hey, you need to go. You need to go." And at this point, I'm like, "Charlie, what the hell?" And she's in the car like, "Charlie, what the hell? How are you? What's going on? How are you?" And I'm telling Charlie, like, "Yo, get the heck away from the car. What are you doing? Like, why are you out here in my car?" He leaves the car and he's just like, "Y'all need to go." And he leaves. He pulls off. So me and Meg look at each other like, what the hell just happened? At this point, we realize we're caught. I say, okay, we need to go somewhere. We need to get dressed. I crank up my car. She's still sitting in the back. I get in the front. I crank up my car. We leave outside of campus. We go outside of campus, and you'll see me passing the camera in when we come back in. I leave outside of campus. Mind you, I'm not even dressed. I only have on like my shirt. So we leave outside of campus, and we're sitting in the car, and she's like, "This is a mistake. This is a mistake. You know, I need to go to my room. This is a mistake. This is a mistake." Panicking. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, what the hell? And so I'm telling her, like, we shouldn't even been in this situation. My bad. Like, we shouldn't even been in this situation. We shouldn't even been humping. You got a boyfriend. I have a wife. This got out of hand. And she's like, I just want to go back to my room. I just want to go back to my room. And I said, you know what? We on the way back because I don't even want to be in here with you right now. Drive back to campus. Mind you, I haven't even put on clothes yet. She done got dressed and did everything she needed to do. Got all of that. I drive back on campus. You see me come back on campus on the camera. I wave at, I don't know the gentleman's name that's usually up in the booth, but I wave at him. I'm back, heading back on campus. I go and park, and she gets out of the car as soon as I park. I'm not even dressed. She just gets out of the car and goes. And I'm like, okay.
How far did you leave campus? Where did y'all go?
When you come out, you go across the railroad tracks, and then you take at that stop sign. So we came out of campus, and then you go around and you have to stop at the railroad track.
Yeah, by the Red Dog? Yeah.
Right by the Red Dog. You have to stop at the railroad track. I go past the railroad track to the stop sign. I take a right. And then if you go down a little bit further, that space where if you don't go to the stop sign, but if you take that little road, you still get to that same part of the railroad track, I go and park right there.
Okay.
And then we come back from right there, and then we come back to campus.
Okay. So nothing happened down there?
Nothing happened. We didn't go any further than that. It was just that. And that was agreed to by both parties. That's why I don't understand why she's telling, oh, I forgot. If you're trying to get yourself out of a situation because you don't want to be represented to your agency or represented to your boyfriend or represented to people that you would do something like that, don't do it at the expense of me because I have stuff to lose too. That's what upsets me because I thought she was my friend. And I don't go out of my way to bother anybody. I can barely go home now. My wife freaking hates me. And as my friend, I just didn't expect her to scapegoat me. It was mutual. She knows I wouldn't disrespect her or do anything to harm her. We drank together before. And because you don't want your reputation ruined, you were willing to say that you were willing to ruin mine. And now you want to retract all this stuff. Now you want to come talk to me and ask me if we good. Are we friends? No, we're nothing.
Okay. Go back to when you got back to campus.
I'm sorry.
She got out of your car.
She got out of my car.
You got dressed. And take it from there.
I'm just trying to calm myself back down. So we got out of my car. I start getting dressed, and I see that her wallet is still in my car. I grab her wallet, and I'm on my way to bring it down to her. And all I see is Karen standing outside her door, smoking a cigarette. So I walk up, and I'm like, hey, is Meg in the room? And she's like, shaking her head, yes. And I said, can you give her this? And she was like, Meg's crying. And I'm like, Meg's crying? What's she crying about? What's wrong? What happened? So I text her. I'm like, are you okay? No response. I try to call her. No response. So I go to Charlie's room, and I'm like, Charlie, why the heck were you at my car? Because at this point, I don't know who to be mad at. I don't know if she's crying because Charlie caught us in the car. I don't know if she's crying because she was just still drunk. I don't know what's being said. But all I know is that no one's telling me anything. So I go into Charlie's room like, yo, what the heck were you doing in my car? Why were you by my car? And at this point, I'm very aggressive. I didn't physically assault anybody or anything of that nature, and Charlie will tell you that I didn't do anything to anybody. But it was just, like, why were you in my car? What the heck, man? What do you have going on? And he was just like, I'll talk to you in the morning. He never became aggressive with me. He never tried to, tried to physically remove me or anything. He never did. He just said, hey, you need to go to your room. I'll talk to you about it in the morning. So James Richardson, by this time, has came out of the room with Meg because that's where I initially talked to him. And he comes and removes me from Charlie's room. And so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And he tells me, something's going on. They said you did something. I did something? Who said I did something? What did I do? Meg said something happened and that you did something. I said, in part of my language, I said, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. So we get down the hallway, and I'm talking to James, and I'm like, why the heck would she say that? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. None of y'all are talking to me. Everybody's talking to her, but nobody's coming to ask me what's going on. And so he's like, just don't worry about it. Just go have a seat in your room. I got to call Carla. I got to call Bill. And I'm like, here we go. Here we freaking go. So he makes those calls. I go back into the room, and I'm talking, and Jamie walks in. Jamie Kraft is my roommate. So he walks in. I'm like, Jamie, bro, you got to tell me something. What's going on? He's like, bro, I can't talk to you, man. You just need to, I ain't in this, man. I can't talk to you now. And I consider Jamie to be, me and Jamie are really close. I'm close to damn near everybody down there. That's just me. I'm social. I talk to everybody. I know a little bit or a lot about everybody down there. And the same goes for them to me. So I'm like, Jamie, what's going on, man? You my boy. Why are you not talking to me? What's going on? And I'm getting upset with him because I'm like, dude, who has my back here? Who's gonna stand up and say, I know this guy? And yeah, you know, you have all these cases where we got people that you knew or you thought you knew, and no, who's gonna stand up and say, hey, I know this guy? He's been drunk around us before. That's not him. And so I get upset with Jamie, and I'm like, yo, I don't even want to talk to you anymore, man. Don't ever try to talk to me again. I don't ever want to talk to you again. If you try to talk to me again, I'm probably gonna want to fight you. I'm gonna fight you. So just don't talk to me. And he's just like, okay. And so I walk out of there, and I go into James and Justin's room, because James Richardson and Justin Jones are roommates. And so I'm telling them, I'm just spilling out my guts, because at this point I'm emotional. This was like the straw that broke the camel's back, because I'm already dealing with everything, being separated from my kids, all of this stuff, my house, my aunt, down here training. And I try to come in every day. I work out hard so I can relieve the stress. I come in, I lead. I'm a team leader. I come in, I make sure that my squad's straight. I make sure that everybody's good. I don't do anything wrong to anybody. I come in and I try, and I have a great attitude. No matter all the stuff that I'm going through, I have a great attitude. So having a person that I consider to be my friend make accusations about me that she knows is not true, because she doesn't want to look a certain type of way, she's going to do me like that. I'm a black male. It's already bad enough that the male gets the shorter end of the stick in a situation like this. So now you don't care about me, though, as my friend. You don't care about the fact that I have a wife and kids at home that probably I won't even get to see when I go back today. They're probably going to be gone. You don't care about the fact that the agency going to be looking at me. You don't care about the fact that certain people in class are going to be looking at me like I did something wrong. And that's not me. You don't care about none of that. So I get done talking to them, and I'm telling them the same stuff that I'm saying right now, because I was furious. I was upset because it's some bull. And so I go outside and I call Carla. They let me know they coming to the campus, and they take me. I broke down. I had a moment where I broke down. I was out there in the grass, and I broke all the way down. Lucas came and hugged me, and that was the only reason why I calmed down the way that I did, because Lucas is my boy. And he came out there, and he hugged me, and he told me everything was going to be okay. Because at that point, I was breaking down. I mean bad. James had took my keys. I guess he thought I was going to kill myself or something. I don't know. But it was just rough. It was rough. And he calmed me down. He walked me back. He walked me back into Justin and James' room, and that's when Carl and them called me and told me that they were outside and that they were going to escort me up to the office so we could talk. So we get up there, and I'm breaking down in front of them. I'm letting them know everything that I said to everybody else. And they're just like, they got to investigate. And I'm asking them, like, what did she say that I did? I said, what did she say that I did? And they're like, yeah, she made it seem like whatever happened between you all, she was uncomfortable with. And I'm like, she was in the car with me. I said, y'all can go pull the cameras. I can line up everything. I said, you can pull the cameras and see. Nothing that she did was forced. I didn't grab her hand. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch her until she told me that I could. When we had, which was the only physical contact we had, I didn't do that until she said that I could. She wanted that. And then the story changes to, oh, he didn't do anything wrong to me, and I just probably forgot. No, that's not how that works. You messed up my reputation, and now you're realizing what kind of jacked up stuff you done to me. Now all of a sudden you want to keep changing your story. You're screwing me. Now you want to support me. Now you want to talk to me. Now you want to be my friend. No, we'll never be friends.
Okay. Now that was some threats that you made. to James Kraft and Justin Jones. They said they tried to calm you down. They said you were shouting racial slurs and profanity, and that you was going to fuck up Charlie Johnston. What was that about? Do you remember that?
I don't, but I do know that I do know at one point I was being very aggressive with Charlie Johnston and Jamie Kraft. Now, as far as Justin Jones goes, he just probably caught the back end of the burner. Again, I was drinking, and I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses for that. I went and apologized to both of them. I apologized to Charlie in front of Carla and Jalon. And me and him talked, and he was like, yeah, he knew I was just drunk. That's why he told me to go to the room. And I told him, I appreciate you for not getting aggressive back with me, because I didn't mean it. He knows I love him. Every single person that I had an altercation with, they'll tell you, those are my boys. Those are my boys. Jamie knows me and him hugged it out that morning. They know they my boys. And I apologize to both of them because it was wrong. Those threats didn't hold no weight. I'd never do anything physical to anybody. But at the same time, I was drunk, and I said what I said. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem any different than that.
Yeah. I mean, I got to ask them that. You and Megan are the first two I'm going to talk to in this investigation. But as far as a racial slur to a white person, what kind of racial slurs did you say?
No, I didn't call them a racial slur. I probably said the
N-word?
There you go.
Okay.
So I know. I would never do that to them. That's okay. Drunk or whatever. I would never disrespect them like that.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you realize you really messed up. You violated some serious GBI policies here. One of them, well, they say I think the guy named Jason Cole had some Jack Daniel and Coke in his truck there. You're not supposed to have any alcohol on campus. And and I think y'all took some more shots or something when you got back there. And then you got in a GBI vehicle. It doesn't matter if you was drunk or not. You cannot drink any alcohol and get into a GBI vehicle. And I think, Quamere, what really is going to be as bad as, your actions afterwards. Now, reading her statement or whatever, I don't know what she's going to say. She's going to be here in 15 minutes or whatever. I'm going to interview her today too, Megan. But, if it was just, there was no alcohol involved and, it was just consensual sex or whatever, and y'all got caught, it still would have been violation of policy, whatever. There's a lot of other stuff, the drinking and all of that. While y'all was at the bar, that I think it was, you said it was Joshua's?
Jonas?
Jonas? Yeah, Jonas. One of the guys said that he was eating some apple pie with ice cream on top of it, and she fed you some ice cream. You remember that? Some of the pie?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, and that y'all was, and she was, and y'all was talking about sex there at the table.
Yeah, the exact conversation, and that the conversation that was had at the table about sex at the table, that was between all of us.
Right.
And I believe she was insinuating about Hunter and her sex there as well. So, again, the only things that I'm wrong for here are cheating on my wife and my aggressiveness afterwards. And if those are the things that are going to cause me to lose my job here, then I totally understand. But I'll be damned if I'm finna let somebody make an accusation that I did something sexually against somebody's will. Nah, that's not it.
I think she retracted that in her statement. I think she retracted that.
And none of this would have happened had she not lied on me in the first place. The drinking and the emotions that comes with it. My house burned down. I'm trying to, and I'm not even gonna make no excuse. I'm not making excuses, but I just need somebody to understand where I'm coming from. I went through Band-Aid, had the struggle of having a kid, buying a house, going home every day for Band-Aid, then to bounce back into the office. My house catches on fire. I have to pick up my family, reroute, deal with trying to do all of this house stuff while I have to figure out what's gonna happen when I go back to training. And I knew I shouldn't even drink. That's exactly why I didn't drink. That's exactly why I wasn't drinking, because I knew how stressed out I was. And this was just a breaking point. And I'll take whatever comes with it, because I had to break. I couldn't keep holding up this positive attitude, all of this stuff going on with me. I couldn't keep doing it. And all of that aggressiveness and everything, that just came with it. But I be doggone. My integrity ain't going with this. And she knows that was some bull. None of this would have happened if she wouldn't have lied. Period.
One of the people that wrote a statement said that she told them that you took your penis out.
I did take my pants off.
Penis?
Yes, sir. My pants were, like I said, when we got to the back seat.
Okay, so you were
yes, sir.
undressed.
No, I still had my shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got to the back seat, I was taking my pants off. Like I said, so we went from the front seat. I leaned over. She took her pants off. Mm-hmm. I leaned over and gave her. Then we got to the back seat. I gave her some more, and I started taking off my pants. And she knew what I was doing. She knew what I was doing.
Did she get fully undressed?
No. Only thing she took off was her pants. That's it. She still had her shirt on. I still had my shirt on.
She had on underwear?
I don't know, but I know she took her pants off. She took her pants off. I didn't do that.
Okay. So nothing happened with y'all before in the past?
No.
This was the only physical thing that has happened with y'all?
The only other physical thing that's ever happened with us, she asked me in the hallway earlier that day. I had told her she had a piece of lint on her pants, like we were walking and there was a big piece of lint like right here.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that.
Okay, so that was the only other thing that happened. And I told her, I said, she was like, get the lint off. I said, no, I'm not getting the lint off. I'm not finna be. And I made a joke about you, Mr. Mays. I said, I'm not about to be up at OPS for getting a piece of lint off your butt. And she was like, no, just get the lint, just get the lint. And so I'm like, man, just get the lint. I said, all right. And I picked it off. And I was like, oh, this is a string. That ain't even a piece of lint. And I was like, you just gonna have to put it back down. And then like 5 minutes later, she let Jason Cole freaking burn the lint off with a lighter. But other than that, I've never had any physical contact where I thought we were friends. But I see now that we weren't.
Okay.
And I'm just ready to get this over with. Like I said, if I'm gonna get fired for my behavior, my attitude, and the way that I broke down and was aggressive with everybody else, I get it.
Okay. That's what made it worse.
And I totally understand. I'm not even gonna sit up here and argue with anybody about that, because I don't want to say I couldn't help it, but I broke down. I broke down, and my mental was just not. It wasn't there. I broke down. You got somebody accusing you, saying you did something to them that you didn't, along with everything else I got going on. And then I know the first thing I thought of, I got to tell my wife.
So tell me about that. What did she say, and how did you go about doing that?
She was trying to figure out why I was home and why I had my stuff. And you know what, Mr. Mason, I'll be honest, I didn't want to tell her.
How long you been married?
We've been together. So we've been together for about 10 years. And we got married in 2019. So this would be coming up to 2. And I've never cheated on her. And she got my kids. I knew I was gonna have to tell her.
How many kids y'all have?
2.
What's their age?
My daughter's 3, and my son was just born in October while I was in mandate. And I didn't use names or anything. I just told her, I said, you know, I was unfaithful to you while I was down in training. And she didn't really even need to hear nothing else.
Okay.
Now I've got to sit in here and deal with this. And that's why I'm like, screw your retraction and you trying to come talk to me and be my friend and all that. I don't want to hear none of that. You ruined me. Because even if I recover at the agency, I can't recover at home.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I was really shocked when I was reading these statements. There's a lot of things going on here that shouldn't have happened, you know.
And it's all falling on me. That's the crapped up part about it.
Well, this brought it to light, but, you know, I'm seeing some things here. First of all, you know, even GDC folks, you know, you should not be driving on government cars to no bars. You know, that don't look right. And that's not right. And, I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff, you know, it seems like a Animal House type thing, you know, college students, all this drinking and partying and stuff like that, man. You know, as a GBI agent, we're supposed to be professional.
Yes, sir.
And we cannot, you know, y'all out here investigating, you know, corruption, police shootings, and that kind of stuff, and, you know, and everybody's acting, you know, like a bunch of drunk college students. And that doesn't look too favorable on the GBI. But, you know, I'm not saying in judgment of anybody, but, you know, this type of behavior is unacceptable.
Yes, sir. I totally understand.
Yeah. And so, what happens at this point here, Quamere, from this point here, I'm going to interview Megan, and I'm going down next week. I'm going to interview everybody that went to that bar, was out there. I'm going to interview everybody there, all of my written statements. I'm going to interview all of them, and then I got to do what we call a finding of facts, and I meet with the director, the assistant director, the human resource director, the legal director, and the deputy director of investigation, Chris Hosey, and decide, you know, what we're going to do with this. See, this here is probably going to have to be reported to the Inspector General's office because of the governor's initiative on the state of Georgia policy on sexual harassment. So, you know, we got to get them involved. We got to notify them because of the allegations she made at first.
Is that gonna be reflected? The fact that nothing she said has been consistent, or I don't know if it's been consistent, but the fact that she lied in general and then tried to cut.
Well,
all of this stuff is falling on me, and it's clear that she lied.
Well,
from the beginning.
She retracted it. She retracted it, but you know, she put it out there in the beginning though, and she retracted it and said that, you know, and I ain't gonna read you her statement, but she retracted. She's not accusing you of anything.
Cause she knows she can't. Yeah. She remembers. She knows she does.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, I gotta say I forgot because now he's in some hot shit. And it's bull crap. It's crap. Because how I'm supposed to go work and when this is over, I feel like the only thing that I'm gonna get fired for is for how I acted afterwards.
Yeah.
But how the heck I'm supposed to go get another job with a freaking investigation like this? I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, two things you did major was actions afterwards and getting in that car and driving. Those are two major things there. Now, I know in the past or whatever, you know, we would, I don't know what your director would say. I really don't. But I'm sure you heard about we had another type of investigation dealing with sexual misconduct, and you know, the guy was terminated. He was a supervisor. That's been in the past 12 to 18 months that this happened. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, what really is going to hurt you is, like you said, your actions afterwards and getting in that GBI car and leaving campus. That's what's going to hurt you right there. This other stuff, the sex thing or whatever, you know, I would say that would have been probably survivable if, you know, just that. Because I'm sure that has happened before, you know, there at Dipstick. And, but you know, alcohol involved, alcohol on campus. I mean, that makes us really bad, man, really bad. And I'm sure everybody probably on that campus down there know about this. That's why I told Carla to tell everyone in that class, do not talk about this. The direct order, do not talk about this case or whatever to anybody. Okay, well, if you got any questions, let me know. It's going to be a while. They're probably going to keep you home for right now to see what, you know, directors decide, because it's going to take me a little while to get this investigation completed. But if you got any questions or whatever, feel free to call me, and, you know, we'll take it from there. But, you know, like I said, you got bigger problems from at home.
Yeah,
so,
if I lose my job, guess what it's going to be?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do at this point. I pray they give me another chance, and if they don't, I brought it on my freaking self. So it's too much.
Alcohol, man, I tell you, we always say that alcohol, women, and informants, confidential informants, man, will get you ran off quicker than anything, in line. But it seems like you told the truth here today. And, you know, but all the stuff you're telling me, other people have told me.
I don't have a reason to lie. I don't have a reason to lie.
Yeah.
You think I didn't want none of this to happen?
Right.
I wouldn't even went and drunk if I.
Yeah. That's why, you know, a lot of times, man, you know, when it comes to alcohol or whatever, and like I said, I don't stand in judgment for anybody, but I've seen alcohol get a lot of people in a lot of trouble. A lot of agents here in this agency has gotten in trouble or whatever because of alcohol. All right, man. Anything else you want to say before I turn the tape recorder off?
Did I tell you?
Well, we talked about, she tried to talk to you in the hallway there and said she's on your side. We got that on tape. Anything else you want to say in reference to that?
You talking about when we were downstairs, when she stopped me after
we
had got, I'm just upset.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that she feels bad, and I know that she knows she was wrong, because she's tried to talk to me on multiple occasions about this. And even after we got put on on the admin leave, for you to purposely catch up with me and stop me to talk to me, to tell me that, oh, I didn't say you did anything wrong, and I hope we're still friends and I got your back. That means you know you screwed me over. You know you did. You know you did. Why are you coming to talk to me?
The next day in class, the next day y'all was in class, and I think you put in your report or somebody else put in theirs or whatever. She turned around and touched your hand or something.
I wasn't going to go to class that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Carla is the one that told me that, you know, you need to get yourself together, and it's about what you do next. And so I said, I'm going to go ahead and go to class. I had talked to Jerry Jones. They had gave me his number because of the mental breakdown that I had. And so I called him, and he said the same thing. You need to just move forward. You know, they hired you for a reason. He gave me all of the generic talk, and just told me that I needed to get it together. So I pulled together, and I went to class. It was probably like 9 something when I got there. And so I go in the classroom, and Justin comes. Well, they're on break. So Justin is already out there, and I'm like, hey, you know, what y'all been doing in class? And he's like, no, everything's good. And I was like, I'm going to sit beside you. And he was like, well, you know, Megan still sits in front of you. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, has she said anything to you? And he was like, well, she said that she don't remember anything that happened. And then I was like, well, should I even sit right there? He was like, well, I talked to her. She said she's comfortable if you sit behind her. And I'm like, what the? You know, so I walk in class, and I put my bag down. I go to the back, and I dap Lucas up, and I go talk to Mike. And I don't talk to Mike about anything specific. I just go back there, hey, Mike, you doing all right, whatever. And then I come back up, Justin sitting down, and we're about to get class back started. People starting to walk in the room from the break. So I go, and I sit down in my seat, and she turns around, and she looks at me, and then she grabs my hand. And I mean, you mind if I?
Oh, yeah.
So we're sitting like this. Mm-hmm. You're right there, and I was still standing up. I hadn't even sat down yet. Mm-hmm. And she turns around and she grabs my hand and she just looks at me. And she shakes her head and then turns around. And I look at Justin, and I'm like, and he was like,
Okay.
and so I sat down. And then that was about a break or so later, she turned around and she was like, are you good? Are you okay? Are we still cool? What? What? Are we still cool? I thought you were my friend. You just tried to accuse me of sexually assaulting you. Are we good? And I'm like, if you forgot, and I asked her this, she couldn't even give me a clear answer. If you forgot, or if you claim you don't remember, or you were so drunk that you couldn't remember, even though you agreed, we were talking the whole time, why wouldn't you just say that? Why would you start this whole commotion like I did something to you? I never said that you did anything to me. What happened? What happened? And so I give her the word that I told. I told when we called her boyfriend. I told what we were talking about. I told her what happened in the car about the oral sex. And then when I was taking my pants off, Charlie knocked on the window, and she was. I said, "You remember all of that? You were there. We were talking about it. So why won't you just? You should have said that from the beginning if that's the story you were gonna go with. Not try to tell people that I did something to you because you didn't want to face the fact that me and you both were in there doing something we weren't supposed to do." And I guarantee you, if you ask her, she didn't tell her boyfriend. But this is some bull. And I told her, I said, I'm hurt. I told her I'm hurt. And I told her, I was like, because I have love for you. I had love for you. We were close. We were talking about hanging out at each other's houses with our significant others, my kids coming over, and playing on the playground. I had just sent her, my wife's a photographer. I had just sent her the information because she was going to get my wife booked at one of her friends' weddings.
Okay, man. I think she's out there. The time now is 3:57 p.m. I'm going to turn the tape recorder off.